Team Paranormal in the north of Tasmania today. Here to speak with Ivan. He's outside his 120-year-old cottage, and he's just going to give us a little bit of information on where it began.
Probably a little bit more than 120 years. The front rooms were built in the 1840s. The two rooms that were attached after that, probably 1880s, 1890s. The two rooms right beside us here was an original house also built in the 1840s, and it was moved across the road at the end of the First World War, dragged across by a steam engine. I've owned the property since 1974. We don't live in here now. Did live in it for about 3 years while we built our new home. I have never seen it, as I've mentioned to you earlier, but all my children and other younger people have seen the image of, we think it's a blonde-headed girl, probably 6 or 7 or 8, somewhere in that age group, always running up the passage. But our children are quite certain that they have seen it, and more than once. Yeah.
Right, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Straight out of the car and then straight into it, eh?
Yep.
Oh my.
It's the way of the world. Go in and tell me what you feel.
Pressure on my ears as soon as I walk through the door, and as soon as I walk through the gate too. There's a pressure.
So you're feeling something?
Well, there's a pressure. Not getting anything major, but I'm not getting a great deal of heat. Only when I walked in the door there, right at the door, and when I walked through the front gate. But it's not, it doesn't seem to be anything major, which is just right here, in fact. Right here.
Now, would you like to take a walk around the outside of the property as well?
So the only other place we've actually got something to walk through the side there.
Now, as we were walking through, Steve pointed out here as being one of the locations that he got a bit of a headache when he was walking past. Previously, when talking to someone who has actually lived on the property before, they've spoken about having seen a face through this window. So I think that's a really good indication that they've looked through the window inside and seen something possibly by this tree. So another place that Steve pointed out was in this hallway here at the very end. When I've spoken to the tenants previously, what they've said is when they've seen this child running through the hallway, it started at this door, which is the back door, and run towards the front door. So it's a pretty good indication that what people are seeing is fairly accurate, especially now that Steve has pointed out these particular points as being pressure points.
Okay, well, we just got set up inside the house. We've set up a camera at the end of the hall here. We've also set up one outside at the second hotspot that Steve felt, not to mention the 2 night shot cameras that we've got, the one that Steve's holding plus the one that I've currently got in my hand, and we have 2 audio recording devices too, so hopefully we'll be able to come up with something.
I mean, this is a while ago you saw. Do you, I mean, look, I mean, you probably can't remember it clearly, but was it a little girl? I mean, did it really look like a little girl? Or was it like a light?
It was a little girl with blonde hair. That's why we thought it was Caroline. And they were about the same age, so they were probably about, she was probably about, what would you say, 5 or 6.
Probably.
Depending on
we were in here in 1994,
Mhm.
5 and 6. And that'd make me 8,
6.
We'd have to go through the time.
6 to 8.
Yeah.
was a little girl.
Yeah, and both my sister and I saw her clearly.
With
we
long
both-
blonde hair.
No, it wasn't long. It was like about this long.
Okay, what about the dress? Did white?
You know, I don't remember.
Do you remember any other colour apart from white? You don't know. It was too.
I remember seeing a kid one day jump over the fence over into the cottage here. And when I ran over here, there was actually no one there, and I looked everywhere because I was only a kid myself, and I couldn't find this person. And that person had colour on, and it was a green, and I think it was either a pink or a red. But there was no one here.
The other thing, there was another family that stayed in here, and we didn't tell them about the ghost. And when they left, they stayed here for about, what was it?
Were they the 2 boys, Brandon and Brett?
I can't remember. It was a family.
Yeah, no, I used to hang out with the boys a lot. And play
They
cricket.
were what? Well, how long were they here for? Like,
What was that?
There you go. It was coming from behind me before.
Yeah, so we were conducting an EVP session with the 2 lovely ladies here that have lived here previously. We were just talking once we'd finished the initial EVP, and we all heard what sounded like something falling in the room next to us after we'd had discussion that Steve could feel something over his shoulder, but yeah, we can't find anything that's fallen down, so we'll just have to keep looking.
my name's Liz. I used to live here. What's your name? We're not here to hurt you, but we just want to talk with you. How old are you? How long have you been here? Please come and talk. How old are you? How old are you? Please come and talk.
So we set the camera up outside near the apple tree to see what we could pick up out there, because there was a darker spirit that I felt present. And it seems like we picked up some EVPs, and I thought that spirit would stay outside. And I was wrong.
Are you still in the house with us? Or have you moved outside?
I'd actually like to run up and down the hallway here. Can you show me how you run up and down the hallway? I'd actually like to run up and down the hallway here. Can you show me how you run up and down the hallway? Can you show me how you run up and down the hallway?
After we picked up the EVP, I thought, you know, Effie's a fairly unique sort of name, so I thought I'd do a little bit of research into it. What I found when I was looking into it was some historical records of an Effie that was born in the late 1800s. The last name actually matched with the name of the family that owned it, so I called them up as I know that the father had done a little bit of the family history, and what we found is that Effie that I found in the historical documents was actually a descendant of their family. So I think that that might be a connection between what we were getting and what they were seeing.